Is AJ back today or no?
He is not. He's still sick.
Oh, okay.
Picked up something nasty. I jokingly said he probably picked it up at that in the bathroom at Disney on doing that AMA. I don't know. Yeah, he said he doesn't have any more congestion, but he's feeling pretty cruddy. So, but
Yeah.
should be back in a day or two.
He needs to take care of himself.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's how should I say? I know you're relatively new to crypto, and but really, like, it's so easy to just get engrossed in this and be on the computer way longer than you think, and you're doing it every single day, and then you just kind of get run down and burnt out and everything. Not me, because I'm like I'm superhuman, but it's it does happen, and that's I always do try to caution people to always take a little step back and make sure that you're not burning yourself out and spending 12 hours a day in front of the screen, or looking at the like a coin gecko or coin market cap all day long, or watching videos every single free minute, because that's when you get like really overly emotionally invested in crypto, and that's probably when you're going to start making stupid mistakes. Because one thing I often try to tell people that are new into crypto, what they should do is really like focus on one project, and maybe a couple different YouTubers that are very level-headed and pragmatic and don't have any of that fanboyism. Um,
Right.
because there's TMI in crypto, too much information, and not the same TMI that somebody when they tell you a raunchy joke or something, but there's just too much stuff to listen to, too many people to listen to, too many different projects, too many, just TMI, too much information, and so you can really drown in an ocean of crypto information, and then you're kind of screwed, because you don't really know who to listen to, because one person with doing technical analysis will tell you one thing, the other that you're watching for technical analysis will tell you the other side of it, and you're like, well, what do I do? And I've noticed a lot of times when people are watching people with conflicting views, as they get analysis paralysis, and they can't do anything, but also the same like on kind of on that same side of it too, like you can just drown in a sea of information and really just not do anything, and not even have any type of you know uh, which way you're even leaning, because there's just so much information coming at you from a million different directions, and you just don't know what to do. And in that case, it really is better. And I think I was telling you last night, really just you're a business owner, you stick to your plan, you make your plan, and you stick to it. And of course the market is going to go up and down, but if you're the type that, and hello everybody, we were just in here a little bit early, so we were chatting,
Oh,
but
I didn't even notice everybody else
yeah,
came in.
yeah, sorry, but hello. And just the issue is that that you there's a if you just step back, you can really kind of avoid those things that I was mentioning, drowning in that sea of information. And either that there's the people like influencers in crypto, a lot of times are they're very high or low. When it's a bull market, everything is great. Everything they tell you is wins, right? Like during a bull market, a lot of people just say, "Oh yeah, just throw a dart at something, and whatever you hit is going to win," because that is usually the case. And so a lot of these influencers end up looking like geniuses, right? Because everything they tell their people that are watching or listening, they're like, "Oh, it wins." But the other side of that is when we're in a bear, or the market's trending sideways. That you can't just throw a dart at things and and win. But what you can do is do like I was saying earlier. If you're going to follow somebody, you should be following like an influencer that is talking about specifically like the niche or the genre that you like. If like you like play to earn games, and you like a specific type of game, find that person that really can do a deep dive on that ecosystem, and then dive into that ecosystem and learn it kind of the ins and the outs, and just remember to be like, do that do that research first, that really educate yourself on how all of that stuff works before diving in. And I think you're going to be better when you have a really focused approach, because if you're in crypto and you're in 10 different things, there's no way that you can keep up with what's going on with that particular ecosystem, unless 8 of those 10 are just blue chip top 10 top 20 type of tokens, right? Because there's not a ton of daily change in those, but in the smaller ones, there's no way one person should be or could be in 10 different projects, because you're probably going to get crushed and lose in eight or 9 of them, because you just cannot retain or keep that same focus consistently day in day out for months. And that's what you really need, like on these little projects. And it's why I'm constantly preaching to people that you have to be in the protocol, you have to know the people. And hello, Mr. Big, I know you can echo the sentiment from one of the communities you're in, that really it's a really good thing to be involved with the community, especially a developing team that is accessible and always there, and really kind of just for lack of a better term, shoots the shit with you. And the great thing about that is that when you get involved, the people really know you on a personal level, and they can really joke with you and kind of stick it to you like they do. When the people, they know you're kind of your quirks, and so they can kind of poke fun at you, and but on the other side of that too, because they know you, they're going to always kind of be there for you, like when you're feeling down or scared, like we're at 0.9112, so 8.88% below peg. Big deal. It's scary, and I say big deal, and I don't mean to say that dismissively for people that are nervous and haven't been in the space. And but the reality is like we are doing amazing. People are always going to sell. There's always going to be paper hands. There are always going to be people that don't care about the projects as much as you do. That's just human nature. We can't do anything about that. And I think AJ has always, and for the people that don't know, AJ's still a little bit sick from Disney, so he still needs a couple more days to recover. He said he's not, congestion anymore. He's just kind of feeling, like when you're on the downswing of that, or you get over the hump and you just kind of feel gross. I think that's, pretty close to how he's feeling. So, like that being said, 91%, that's still an A, in terms of a letter grade in school. And is my mic loud enough, just so I know that everybody can hear me? I'm sitting kind of far back, but
no, you're good.
Okay. And so I was saying, and I don't mean to say it like dismissively, like, oh, we're 8.88% below peg, no big deal. I get it. People are nervous, but the key thing to keep in mind here is that we truly, as investors here, you've put money here, we are all owners, and we decide how, this ecosystem, if we're below peg or above peg, and there's really a benefit to both. And I really maybe have a very strange approach to crypto, but being below really shows the people that have resolve and have commitment and have maybe a deeper understanding of like how this ecosystem actually operates, that it's not all owned by the Treasury, and the Treasury sees all the benefit. That it couldn't be further from the case, right? Like the Treasury is a participant, just like the AJ has always said right from day one. Just like everybody here has always known that the Treasury here is to support the ecosystem, because everybody here is the ecosystem. But like that being said, we as owners here, we all have to do like that part to, making sure that people aren't rocking the boat and freaking out. It's our job to, not post like FUD in the channels. And I know there was some FUD yesterday, and it was really poorly placed, because anybody, when if you're an investor, especially on a small crypto project, you have to do like your part financially, but you have to do your part socially too, to not freak people out. Like I am no more important than anybody here. However, like I speak on these AMAs. I'm AJ's co-host. I've been here since day one. So if I said something like, "Oh my God, these guys are just terrible," that would freak people out, and that would be extremely irresponsible if I said something like that. And by the way, I am not saying that. I'm just saying a hypothetical. But when we do have some visibility in the community, it is our job to help new people, to help people that are nervous or frightened about being below peg, that the ecosystem is fine. This is a natural cycle of going up and down, and sure, could all different types of things be built in the system to penalize people from moving in and out? Yeah, absolutely. It would be no problem to do that. But isn't it much better to be able to move in and out and know that you're going to be rewarded with positive action? You're probably going to be penalized with a negative reaction and loss when you do something the system doesn't like. And I'll point out, I know somebody, I don't know the person personally, but just looking at the wallet, I see that they're down about $250,000 because they're trying to swing trade ESHARES. And we've always maintained ESHARES are volatile. You should farm them. Of course, speculation is healthy and necessary in the system, but you do, as I said, you have a social responsibility. But if you're a bigger player too, you have to have a fiscal responsibility to understanding like your impact on the system, how you're going to freak people out. And that being said too, I don't always look at people that have these gigantic bags, and they're moving in and out and they're losing money. Mostly is what happens. I don't know necessarily that they're what I would call a bad actor, and I usually don't use that term, but a lot of times I think maybe this person really just was lucky at some point in crypto, and just fell into a really big bag, right? And they're extremely wealthy, and some of the things they've done have helped them grow their portfolio, and it might not have been the best thing for those ecosystems, but they might not be doing things maliciously either. They just might not know. And it's very possible people like that have never listened to the AMA, don't really even know that there's a great community here, that we always encourage people to have their voice heard and be educated and understand everything, because truly, when you are educated, you're empowered, and like I'm kind of a goofy person. Like, I like to know how things operate. Like, just as a little off topic, like. After the gym, I go to the gym every day. After that, I usually go to McDonald's and get an iced coffee, right? But I've been doing that for a long time. But you know what? I like to know how things work. So, like, I ask, can I, see how the kitchen works and how the flow works. There's no reason I need to know that, but I like to know how things work. And here, like at EMP, you can understand how everything works, because everything is right here for you to ask questions, see how, we have people in the I was going to say the audience, but people in the community that will give you the numbers of exactly how things work, how to have optimal strategies for every part of the ecosystem, basically for every level of investor, from somebody that has $100 to somebody that has $100,000. And the great thing here is that we have that choice to move in and out of the system without artificial constraints to penalize people. And so we would always hope that people are really cognizant of the other people in the ecosystem. But at the end of the day, I always take that as like, okay, we can do a better job of trying to reach out to people and try to make sure that everybody understands, like their actions in this ecosystem really do matter, because there's 5,000 people in Telegram, there's 5,000 people in Discord, and there's probably other people that are listening in other places that aren't on either one of those two main channels of ours. But the point is when if someone were to have just bought, say, eShare because they saw it on a chart and on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap and said, hey, the chart or the technical analysis tells me that this is a really good buy right now. They might have bought that and put staked it in the boardroom, and they don't know anything else about the ecosystem, and they don't know maybe that what they're doing is actions are actually hurting the ecosystem, and that people here make up the ecosystem, right? Because it's you, me, Fat Bob, Joe, Connie, everybody here is the ecosystem, because it's our little financial contribution that makes up really the numbers here, that you see reflected in the price, the peg. And when we really we understand, I think the people that come to these AMAs, the people that are in the community know that we truly are the ecosystem. I know it sounds extremely odd, but here we are the ecosystem, and the way that we move, be it financially, socially, whatever other Lee you can think of, has an impact on the system, be it positive or negative. But there are these people out there that maybe don't know really that that what they're doing is harmful. I don't know that. I don't know that people maliciously set out to be bad actors per se. Maybe there is people out there that do that, but we can't control that. We can only do the right thing for like we can only control what we do, and hopefully I always say if somebody out there had this big bag of eShares and didn't know, and I'll be honest, I'm always looking in other forums to see if I can find those people that don't understand the system, and then I reach out to them in DM and say, hey, if I can help you in any way understand the system, feel free to reach out to me, because we want to have you be part of this ecosystem and grow it long term. And I don't really ever spend time wasting I don't spend wasted time complaining about what people do, because I don't have any control over that. And so I'm usually actively seeking out different channels to try to find people that are potentially in this ecosystem that maybe don't know how it operates. And because I look at this as really kind of a living ecosystem, that because we like I said before, we make up this ecosystem, and everything that we do here, from the biggest thing to the smallest thing, has an impact. And you might not see it right away, but after time, that is part of the foundation. It is part of the building. It is part of this social construct or this community. And of course, it's intangible. It's very hard to see, but it is true. What we do here matters, and I think there's so many people here that are doing the best job possible to do. To understand how the system works in an extremely detailed and nuanced fashion, and they get it, right? And those are the people that are reaching out and helping people that haven't had those light bulb moments yet. And when we look at that and say, wow, I wish I could be there. Well, the great thing is this is crypto, and anything's possible. You can be there, and I'm sure Joe can echo my sentiment here in a moment that when I came into the ecosystem, I didn't know very much, but I'm a person that is very obsessive about learning how things work, and so I took a lot of time seeing how things worked and how people interacted with one another, and how and how that really added a lot of value to that, and why do I even want to spend time helping, and right away this community showed something special, and that's not cliched, really. It might sound like it might sound corny, I might sound idealistic, but I know, like, I've seen, I've been in this space for what years now? So for 9 years, 9 years. And so I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of communities, and this is an extremely positive, helpful community. And that is so powerful and so rare in crypto. And so, I do, whatever I can to do my part to help it grow, to help the people grow here. And I'm happy to be here, because what I don't know, I know that the people here can teach me. And so, there's always a teachable moment here. There's always a learnable moment here. And anybody and everybody can be in that exact same situation of learning and teaching and really becoming a badass crypto investor. And, in that journey, you might actually become like a better person too, and understanding, like, crypto isn't a solo sport where you're here to screw everybody over, to get one over on everybody so that, you can have, some money right now. I would tell you that if you want to be here in a year, in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, the best place to start building that is right now, by doing positive, constructive things, not trying to get one over on anybody. And that's why I talk about those strange things, like, we are always looking for those people that have that scammer level energy. And frankly, I would tell a scammer, hey, look, if you want to learn how to do this, and I see you helping out in the community, I am more than happy to help you get started. I don't care, I don't have a judgment for you. I don't have any critique about how you should live your life. All I care about is that you're doing positive action and helping people in the ecosystem. If you don't have the money to start, and so, yeah, but please don't DM me asking me for money, because I'm just going to block you and I'm not going to give it to you. But I am saying that if you are one of those people that is a scammer, you're here to hurt people, you're here to steal, I'm not here to judge you, guy, lady, whoever you are, because your life is your life. But if you are that type of person that designates a lot of time to this is a project where you don't actually have to do that. This is a project where you can get started basically for nothing. You learn a lot, and then, really change the course, of your life by doing positive action instead of, taking. It's much better to be a bridge builder than burning bridges and doing those types of things. And so this is what crypto presents us, is the opportunity to build bridges, burn bridges, and make decisions and make choices freely. We're here making decisions, clicking buttons, doing kind of, our work, whatever we want to be. We can be a bad actor or a good actor. That's all on us to decide what we want to do. But, we can see the people that are here, working every day. They're on the AMAs, and, I'm not here, like I said, I'm not here to judge you if you're here for 10 minutes or 10 hours. Whatever you do, like if you're adding a positive value to the community, you're freaking awesome. I love you. And that is, I'm sure that makes you feel good too, to be here, understanding, learning, and helping people. Because people, me personally, I think people are inherently good and want to do the right thing. And there's people that are in bad situations that do bad things. That doesn't make them bad people. People want to be good people. They just sometimes need to have the tool sets and the help to do that, and somebody to believe in them. And that's what I see in this community. That's something that's special, that sets people apart, or communities apart from one another. Yeah, there are a lot of great crypto communities that are there to make money. They'll help you. But I've never seen a community like this that will actually pick somebody up, help them out, and get them started in all kinds of ways. And that's the special thing. That is the thing that really sets this community apart from other communities. Yeah, true. We have badass tools here to make money, but the tools are worth nothing without the people, good people, to use them to build and be utilized in the proper way to really build an ecosystem, to build people. But we're not just building this ecosystem, we're building people. We're building it one kind of block at a time. And that's what everybody can do. You can build your kingdom, your portfolio, yourself, whatever way you want to look at it. You can absolutely, hang on, let me see what this. Okay. I was just reading a message, but you can build yourself into whatever you want. You don't know about crypto right now? No big deal. You can learn right now. All you have to do is take the time, and the tools here are going to fast track you to being one of the best, potentially one of the best, crypto investors on the planet. And, that's not BS, because I don't know. Maybe you're a super genius. You don't know anything about crypto. Maybe you're, like I say, you're somebody that's got scammer level energy. I don't know. But the reality is that everything relies on the user here. This is all user-owned liquidity. I can't come over to Fat Bob's house and make him push those buttons and make him compound or claim or sell or buy. That's all up to us. Everything that we've ever wanted, in the physical world, the ability to make an impact, to make a choice, to be part of that decision-making process, the ability to, really, I don't want to say you don't matter, in the physical world, but the impact that you can have here is so much greater than, in the physical world. Because the cost to do those things is not very high here. And, the upside, like we often talk about the upside of Ethereum. Here's an even bigger upside. It's you. Whatever you, like I said, whatever you want to become, you can here. But you have to be diligent and consistent and believe in yourself and believe in the things that you're doing. And not just belief, but you actually have to do those things. You have to execute on them, and just understanding that everything that you do has an impact, be it positive or negative. And so it's really, like you say, it's all up to you. You own this ecosystem, you own this choice, or you own, you have to own your choices and, be responsible for the things you do, and don't rely on anybody else. All you have to remember is when you.
Excellent, Bull. Always giving it straight up. No BS. Like your name, Bull.
Yeah.
You're definitely a BS guy.
Yeah.
And what I love about Bull is he doesn't tell you what you want to hear. He tells you what you need to hear. And he's just a straight shooter. And he definitely contributes a lot here. And if anyone's got a question or problem, he's always there to, lend a hand and give it to you straight up. So hats off to you, Bull. Thank you for everything you do.
Thanks, Joe.
Prior to coming here, I'm Joe, by the way, part of the community. Been here since March, and I know a lot of you that are on here. But yeah, I mean, the markets are definitely, a little all over the place. We've had a huge pump with Ethereum. I mean, not long ago, I was buying Ethereum to pair up with my EMP and paying, $1,000, $1,200, and look at where we are now. So, one thing for sure with these markets is they go up and they go down. It's never a straight line up. And that's just part of the volatility nature of crypto. I still do trade a little bit outside of EMP, and I traded a lot prior to here. And anyone who's done that knows that it's extremely stressful. I mean, even when you remove the emotion from it, there's still money involved. So it's hard not to get emotional, even if you don't trade emotionally. To be up one day, 5,000 and down 10,000 the next day is tough to stomach, and it takes a certain person to do kind of trading. Whether you're a day trader, swing trader, doesn't really matter. But they always say that long term, the most successful people in crypto are the ones that buy coins that have utility, they HODL those, and then they DCA, or dollar cost average. They don't time the market, they don't swing trade. They just keep hodling their position with these quality projects, and they keep DCAing. Whether that means you DCA by just buying a certain amount every week, every month, and you don't look at the price, so you just add it to your HODL bag, or you do a combination of you wait for a big dip and you might buy a little extra. Like if you do it every week and then this week coming up, there's a big 10, 15% drop, you might double or triple down and, take advantage of that volatility and then not do a DCA for the next 2 or 3 intervals. That strategy of DCA and hodling onto it is extremely successful long-term because you're removing the emotion from it and you're just making those regular buys. The nice component that they don't have in this is because they don't know about EMP.Money is that you pick a quality coin, well, what comes to mind? Ethereum, right? So nothing has more utility than Ethereum. Over 90% of all NFTs, smart contracts, all run through Ethereum. It's built for developers to run projects off of their blockchain, and all the top developers are on Ethereum. That's just a given. There's other great projects out there, and they might compete with Ethereum, but to think that they'll replace it is going to be a difficult task. And at the end of the day, Vitalik, the founder there, really doesn't care. Not that he doesn't care about other people, but he knows that Ethereum can't take all the volume that's coming. So there has to be more than one smart contract company out there. There's room for several players, but you can be sure that Ethereum will be one of the big ones. But the component I think that's missing from the best strategy is that, you hold on to your coins, you DCA, but then you also earn high yield on it. So I participated prior to EMP into the ETH 2.0 staking, and that's where people put money up and kind of help support the protocol for them to switch over to proof of stake. Right now, they're proof of work, as you know, and this is the big thing with the merge, is to move that whole blockchain over to a more efficient, like 99% more efficient manner of running the blockchain. And then they also have other things called sharding that are coming, and all those things will help reduce the gas fees and make Ethereum really a powerhouse in Web 3.0. But with EMP.Money, you can hodl, meaning you buy exposure to ETH through the LP tokens because it's made up of half the value of Ethereum, half the value of EMP. And EMP is really fractionalized ETH, just like Satoshis are fractionalized Bitcoin. And that's the beauty of our LP system, because you're not just investing in EMP into our pools, you're investing it through a married token that allows the price and movement of Ethereum to ride along, allows EMP to ride along with Ethereum's movement, which is up some days and down some days. But what we're able to do one step further is we can go into the pools. We can go in the Detonator. So even though the APR now is not at an all-time high in our EMP pool, you're still earning 0.16 a day, which comes out to about 5% a month. So imagine telling someone in crypto, how would you like to earn 5% a month on your Ethereum? They'd be like, you're crazy. It doesn't exist. I know I'm not getting that in my ETH 2.0 staking, not even close. I'm getting single digits for a whole year. I can get 5% here in 1 month. So this is unheard of. And then we have the infinite money loop. And that means, if example with me is I'm in the Detonator. I started with that. Not saying that you should, but that's the direction I went, and it's worked out really well. So the claims that I make through the Detonator go into the pool, the farms there. And what that allows me to do is to make money on my rewards. So I'm earning more LPs, which means more exposure to Ethereum on my reward. So it's interest on the interest, which is powerful. And from there,
that sounds really interesting.
let me tell you more about it, Bull. Right?
Yeah.
So
keep going, bro. Sorry about that. I just had to throw it in there.
No, it's all good. And then, and even when we're not printing, I'm okay with that. Do I like printing? Sure. Not because I want to make a ton of EMP. That I'm not worried about. I'm making EMP through my nodes. But I want the boardroom to print because overall that means more value for eShares, higher APRs, and it's just higher yield. But even now that we're not printing, you're still getting 5% on your Ethereum every month. And if you do one of the other pools, you can get as high as 10% plus per month and earn those eShares. So the system still works whether above or below peg. It's just optimized when we're above peg. And then the nodes allow me to buy EMP and use those EMP locked up into a 400% ROI, which again, if you told someone they could get 400% ROI on their Ethereum, they would say you're crazy. But that's literally what we're doing here. So that EMP acts like those nodes that generate the EMP act like my little personal boardroom, even when the boardroom's not printing, still at a very high APR. And I can take those along with my eShares that I get in the farm, and I'm in all three farms. So I generate eShares in all three pools, and I treat them like little buckets of ETH miners. It's not generating Ethereum, but it's generating eShares that I can trade for Ethereum. Once I do that, I pair it up with my EMP emissions from the nodes, and I make LPs. And by doing that, I make LPs over 50% faster than just straight farming. So I get the benefit of farming, and I get the benefit of the acceleration through the nodes. And again, this is all while we're not printing. So the system doesn't shut down when we're below peg. It just takes a little bit of a breather, and that happens. And the thing is, the system's still running. You can still make insane APRs with exposure to Ethereum. And then you have that whole fun aspect of the detonator and the largest deposit and lottery. And we do hear about people that win lottery. So it's a real thing. It's not that it's some secret thing that goes behind a room and only certain people win. And there's been lots of people that have won multiple times that are in the community. And now that we have Chainlink, everyone knows who Chainlink is, they're handling the back end lottery system just to give comfort and efficiency to the system, so people know that yes, it is truly randomized, and it's kind of done through Chainlink's system. So yeah, it's all a beautiful thing. I'm glad to be here and still making money and smiling every day. And my wife gave me a T-shirt today. I thought it was the funniest T-shirt. I've never seen it before. But I guess she thinks I'm kind of steeped heavily in crypto. I put it in the main Telegram, but it says things I do in my spare time, and it's check my portfolio, think about crypto, dream about crypto, all those funny things. But yeah, that is me. I do love crypto, and I think this is the best project out there. And I plan to be here a long time, and I hope you guys do too.
Yeah, it's awesome, Joe. And you know, like something that you said, I really want to kind of dig into a little bit because I started in crypto with physical proof of work miners, and when I found out about EMP, I have to tell you, I shut my miners off about 1 month in. It was about a month after the nodes came out, because I started understanding like the power that was here and the ability to, have much higher yields than actually doing the physical mining, which really is kind of a pain in the butt. But when I understood and really started having those light bulb moments in the system, like, oh my gosh, I can do this? No way. Yeah, you can. And Joe was just kind of laying out like 5% a month, on your Ethereum, in the farm. Oh wait, that's too low for you, 5% a month on Ethereum. Okay, well, you can take that over to the other farms, basically, eShare BNB, and earn eShare, which, in all reality here, you're still mining fractionalized ETH with eShares, because eShare is part, of the EMP ecosystem. And I know a lot of times we talk about, EMP being fractionalized ETH, but eShare is really fractionalized ETH as well, because that's the conduit to actually profit in the system and kind of build your system. It's not by selling EMP. We've all heard AJ say when people sell their EMP, they're leaving the system. Totally true. And, however, if we look at eShare as that vehicle, to take profit, Joe pointed out clearly, I'm just going to go to the farm tab here because I want to see actually the difference in the APR, the daily. So right now the EMP ETH LP farm is 0.16% daily. The eShare BNB farm is 0.35% daily. So, approximately 2 times more. And when Joe was saying, the EMP ETH LP was 5% a month, and he said, well, look, you don't like that. Well, over here on eShare BNB and eShare MDB Plus, those are both, double what they are in the EMP ETH LP. And so don't listen to me and say, oh, Bullgate said rush into the eShare BNB. No. You want to have a balanced approach to this system, even though, those APRs are going to look really, really tantalizing and you're going to think, oh, I need to go there and that's going to be the best thing. That's going to be the best earner. And that's not. That's going to get you in trouble. And it happens, it most noticeably with eShare buyers going into the boardroom, and then, we see people buying the eShare at a higher price when they should have been farming it. But that, that's understandable. Everybody's going to see that number, and that's what they're going to jump into. And because a lot of people aren't going to take advantage of the education to learn how it actually works and why it is beneficial to be spread out across everything in the system. And I know that it seems, difficult to understand all the little pieces here and how they fit together. But when you look at the system, totally as, this is the torso, this is the leg, this is the arm, this is the heart. All of these pieces matter together, and you wouldn't want to be walking around with one gigantic leg and one small leg, and saying, oh, my life is great, I'm walking perfectly balanced. And that's not a dig at anybody, but it's just a physical representation of how the system would look like if you were all in the boardroom, right? Like, yeah, that looks great, but the boardroom is that weightlifter with extremely big biceps, but incredibly small, tiny little legs that everybody's like, ooh, look at that guy. He that's amazing, guy. You look. Your arms are so large, but then everybody laughs at him behind his back because he's so tiny with his tiny little legs. But the point is that balance is the key to really being successful in the system. And why do I say that? Because all of these parts of the ecosystem play a role in how they interact with one another. And when you have a balanced approach, you can have those resources or your assets in constant motion instead of sitting in your wallet where, if you're one of those people that jumps into nodes and you have just an incredible amount of, EMP coming off the nodes, but you don't know what to do with it, right? And you're like, well, I'll just sell that and I'll get eShare and then I'll put it in the boardroom and then I'll make more EMP. And then, enough people do that and all of a sudden the boardroom is off and the eShare that they bought is worth half of what they paid for it. And, their EMP production is completely or dramatically off because the boardroom is off. And that's because of balance. We always need to strive for that balance within the ecosystem, just like you'd want to do with your body, so that everything functions to the best of its capacity. And so there are a ton of different strategies here, but they all revolve around the idea of a balanced approach in the system, the ability to earn regardless if the boardroom is on or not. And why is it important that you earn when the boardroom is off? Well, because if the boardroom is on half of the time and it's off half of the time, that time that it's on, you're going to feel great because you're producing all this EMP. And I'm not going to sell shame you. You might be one of those people that sells that EMP and then you feel really guilty and you're like, oh, this is great. And but what ends up happening is when too many people are doing that type of action, the system will react and it'll shut the boardroom off, and then all of a sudden you don't have anything, and you go from this really high, euphoric state where, you're just generating a tremendous amount of, profit or revenue daily, and then all of a sudden you have nothing, and then you feel like crap. And the way to avoid that is to have this balanced approach where the assets that you have are constantly being utilized and are in motion. Let's just check it out. What's sitting in the boardroom here? 10,296 eShare. Is that about $5 million roughly, Joe? And I think that's about right. And so when I look at that is wasted opportunity, because, as Joe pointed out, if we go back here to the farm, if you were a person that had $10,000 in eShare, or $1,000, whatever, it doesn't matter. That $1,000 or $10,000 times zero is zero. It doesn't matter what kind of mathematics you use; it's still zero. And so, why is there $5 million staked in the boardroom doing nothing? Are you waiting to recover PEG tomorrow or in the next hour? No. You need to be able to put those assets to work. You wouldn't, if you had rental properties and you had a one rental house, and would you keep it vacant the whole time, earning nothing, but still having to pay property tax on it and maintenance costs and insurance? No, of course you wouldn't. You need to put that to work, and that's exactly what the system is. It's a daily earning machine, but you have to put your assets to use. If they're sitting in, idle in the boardroom, they're earning zero. I don't care if you have, $100,000, it's still earning zero. If you have idle assets in your wallet, they're earning zero. They're going up and down based on the price action, but they're still earning zero. And this type of system is exactly what everybody in the financial world wants: the ability to print their own money, control their own economy, determine their own destiny. That's what you can do here. I'll be harsh. You can be a total warrior, or you can be a schmuck. I'm sure there's a couple schmucks here, but maybe they're not doing it on purpose. Who knows? But we can't control that. So we are going to be warriors, and we're going to be badass investors. And so, how do we do that? Well, we put those assets to work. We utilize the people in the community that can help us, get our portfolio into balance and make sure that we're earning every day, regardless of that, if that boardroom is on or not. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. You don't have to worry about impermanent loss if you're a person that's here daily. Impermanent loss isn't going to do anything to you. Let's just say you're that person that has $10,000 and it's sitting in the boardroom right now. What should you do? What should you do with that? You should get that moving and earning you, some type of gains today, right now. And then, how do you do that? Well, if you don't know what to do, reach out to somebody in the community that has a title by their name and ask them. Look in Discord for in the strategy section about what you might need to do. But if you need help, just ask. We want you to ask. We don't want you to have questions that go unasked because they're not going to be answered, obviously. And so what we need to do is to get money flowing throughout the system and not sitting idle, right? Because this is why everybody gets freaked out. Like we're below PEG, the boardroom is turned off, but people that are out of whack, they're out of balance. They're the ones that are really nervous, and they're the ones that have sold EMP and were they turned off basically their tap, and now they're wondering, what do I do? Okay, well, no big deal. This is nothing. This is a small amount to recover from. Are we going to be able to recover from it in the next hour on the AMA? No. It'll take time, just like it did when I think the last time we got it as low as about 0.82. But no problem. It took a little bit of time, but we got back up above it. And so in the meantime, what we need to do is educate the people that don't understand how the system works, the people that are out of balance, and make them realize that having, these idle assets are hurting them, because what it does is it slows the system down. The system itself needs assets, to flow in and out of it so that it can keep moving and growing. If they're idle, that means it's not being used. And when something isn't being used, what does that mean? It means that it's wasted opportunity in any type of system. Usually, when it's there's an economic principle called hoarding, and everybody knows what the heck hoarding is. When you have too much stuff in your cupboards, you have canned goods that go bad. That's hoarding. That's ineffective. You have to put those things to use. You have clothes in your closet that that you bought, never used. That's wasted, on hoarding. You need to always have things moving. Yeah, sure. Is a canned good an asset? Yeah, it is. Are clothes an asset? Yes. Are ESHARES an asset? Yes. You need to have those in use. Do you have EMP? That's not being used, that's a wasted asset. You need to have that, in use somehow. You have to figure out how you can keep utilizing the system, growing your farm, growing your portfolio, and growing your knowledge in the system. Here's the great thing. Learning how to do all of that is only going to cost you time. Time to invest here to like I said, to reach out to people that want to help you, because we want to see you succeed. We want to see, there's when I wake up, one day, I want to look at this boardroom on a day that it's off, and I want to see 0 ESHARES here. Because when I see 0 ESHARES here when a boardroom is off, I know that this boardroom is going to turn on very shortly, because this right here is $5 million of wasted liquidity, not doing anything, actually adding to this right here. Does that make sense? I mean, am I crazy? Joe?
Yeah, you are crazy, but you are right at the same time. So
yeah, thank you.
It's a good combination. But
yeah,
no, you're absolutely right with those idle coins. I hate idle coins.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it sounds kind of backwards and illogical. Like, okay, you sell eShares, that's going to bring the price down. So what good is that? Isn't eShare the driver for the APRs and everywhere else? Well, yes, but the whole thing is when you sell some of those eShares for EMP, you're putting buy pressure on EMP, which then raises the PEG. A higher PEG in turn raises the eShare price. So they go in tandem.
Yep.
And the thing is, like Bo was saying, yeah, $5 million is sitting there idle. That alone, only a portion of that is needed to get us back on PEG.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you look at the price of eShare, it was around 870 not too long ago, and now it's down over 40%. So if you aped into eShare when we were printing, thinking that you could stick those in the boardroom, it was very short-lived because, it's so volatile that buying it on speculation to try to make money is really hard. Now, if you have a good position in the farms and you want to buy a little bit of eShare separately, sure, go ahead and do that. If you can tolerate that, fasten your seatbelts and get ready, and you can make some good money. But to think that you can buy it, throw it in the system, and take advantage of the printing, that's where it all fails. And like Bo was saying with impermanent loss, like let's just take the example of the eShare down over 40%. I know I talked to the other day about free gas and having gas for life, and that was a strategy where you take a portion of your eShare and you convert it into that LP in the farm that's paying that much higher APR, almost twice that of the standard EMP. So most of my assets are in the EMP LP because that's the whole system. That's our liquidity. That's what makes us, so powerful as a DeFi protocol overall. We have to have a strong liquidity, and that's what those LPs do. So whether you have those LPs in the farm or in the detonator, from a protocol standpoint, it doesn't matter because it's still the same LPs, just in different buckets. But by converting my eShares into the LP bucket, I'm able to earn that high yield in the system, 0.35. So if you look at the impermanent loss, from when eShares was at 870 to where it is now, 490 or so, you're only looking at a 3.6% impermanent loss. So that impermanent loss, what that means, if that's new to anyone, it just means if I were to hold Ethereum, if I were to hold eShares and BNB separately in my wallet, how is that compared to when I actually make an LP token? And the difference between the two when there's price movement is your impermanent loss. And sometimes that number is big if one asset goes way up and one goes way down. Other times, where we are right now, BNB hasn't moved that much. It's dropped a little, but eShares is down 40%. Yet, the eShares I converted are only down 3.62% because of the LP structure. So that means by sticking them into the farm, into that middle BNB eShare farm, I'm able to earn that 0.35% every day. So in a week and a half, I've recovered that impermanent loss, and it's still going to continue to print. And on top of that, if the price recovers, then I'm in much better shape in much shorter time frame. So don't be scared of impermanent loss. Like Bo said, you don't want to ape into the eShare BNB or even the eShare MDB. They all have their own use case. They all have their own risks. But being well diversified means that you can take these small little hits in the market and still make money doing it. So by utilizing all the different aspects of the EMP ecosystem, you continue to make money regardless of where PEG is. And that's a beautiful thing once you have that light bulb moment and you start looking at your portfolio and saying, how can I make all the components work? So I'm taking full advantage of all the APR opportunities and not just aping into one area.
That's right, and there's a psychological component with that too about being right balances. I talked about that high and that low, and that early on we were just speaking kind of about analysis paralysis and too much information, and the reality is that it seems like there's a lot in this ecosystem that that you have to wrap your head around and how these pieces fit together. But if you do take that time, to understand how these things fit together, you are going to have, this kind of, I don't want to say a euphoric state. That isn't quite right. But you're just going to have a real calm about you to understand that being balanced in the system, your emotions aren't going to be driven by PEG, and you're not going to be on the top of the mountain, and then at the bottom of that wave, and feeling like junk. And the ability to be able to balance that out and just be level headed and feel confident every single day is a really empowering feeling. And we can see that in the community, the people that kind of are very calm and very kind of always trying to right the ship and help the people that are a little bit frantic. And when you get frantic, and if we look at this kind of analogy, if anybody's ever been on a canoe or a little like dinghy, when you're on a small boat like this, every little thing that you do, the way that you move matters. And that if you were a person that is running from one part of the ecosystem to the next, there's a chance that you can fall overboard. And this is why, I'm talking, or speaking about this idea of being balanced and calm, because, we are all kind of here on a boat, and we're all floating on liquidity. And sometimes, we're on this wave that can be up and down, but there, when people understand that, it's actually us that controls the wave, and it's us, the way that we act in the ecosystem that determines that if that wave is rough or if it's a smooth ride. And it's a really powerful feeling to know that what you do here has an impact on that, be it, like I said, financially, or like just your human input, and making sure that, you know, people in the community or in the chat or in DM or whatever know that, like, look, the mechanics are exactly the same here when the boardroom is printing as when the boardroom is off. The system just reacts to the way people act, and so if we want to make sure that, you know, the boardroom is on, the best thing we can do is take a balanced approach and make sure that, you know, we're not rocking the boat, so to speak, rushing from one side to the next, trying to chase the APR and figuring out, like, how do I make the most gains? Well, you know, the way that you make the most gains in the system is having a balanced approach and just rolling, you know, kind of rowing straight ahead. But when somebody's rocking the boat back and forth, and you yourself, if you're rocking back and forth, you're going to see that you didn't row in a straight line. And the fastest way to a point, right, and that point is success. You define success, is a straight line. And how do we get there in a straight line? Well, we do it with as little volatility as possible. And I know that might sound crazy, volatility, you know, we control it. We do. It's our actions that control, like, financial volatility here. And look, I mean, the peg is a reflection of that. You know, there are people that are a little bit freaked out, so we're a little bit below. But, you know, there's the vast majority of us are not freaked out, because we know the fundamentals, nothing has changed here. It's just that when we, you know, because this is crypto, people come and they go. It's our job, you know, to educate those people and make them understand that this isn't a coin that has, you know, $100 billion market cap. This is a coin that has 40 million TVL. And everything you do here matters. And that's why we can control the ecosystem. And I know, you know, I just listening to myself, I know it sounds crazy, but we have the ability to, you know, steer how this ship goes, or the boat, whatever way you want to look at it. Everything we do here plays a pivotal role in how the ecosystem reacts to what we do. And so if we understand that and we educate those people, you know, we're going to see a more consistent, you know, a time above peg, and the ability to do that. Whose keys are those I hear rattling around? I caught her. Anyway, so my point is that this is at the end of the day, this is a platform built by investors for investors that we own, we control, and we determine, you know, the success and failure of the ecosystem, because everything you do here matters. And so that being said, I don't want to take all the rest of the time preaching at people, and hopefully that doesn't come off condescending or preachy or smart alecky or whatever. But I just want people to understand that we own this ecosystem. So, you know, treat it responsibly. You know, don't run around trying to figure out how to make the most gains every single day. Try to figure out where you want to be in a year, and, you know, there's a strategy of how to get there in a straight line, so that you're there quicker than you think by rushing back and forth chasing those APRs, you know, throwing your portfolio out of balance and you know, making you crazy. So yeah, Joe, let's get into the detonator.
Let me jump in real quick, fellas. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing to take away, you know what I'm saying, is dropping below peg, is just to understand, you know, what our project is all about, man. We're a seigniorage project, and, you know, at its base level, we're building an economy. And when we drop below peg, it's not a determination of the health of the system whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? The system is extremely healthy. It just means that right now, you know, we have, what is it? I don't know how far we are below since I looked, you know, 9%. It's 9% EMP floating around the system that isn't being utilized. And it would be nice that every time the boardroom printed, that everyone was in here would take that EMP and utilize it to build their positions bigger in the platform. But the reality is that isn't always going to happen. And with over $5 million in the boardroom, it's going to be people that use EMP responsibly. And, you know, obviously there's nothing that we could do about that. And the reality is the value of what EMP is. You know, when it drops below peg, it becomes a discount, not only for the people that are already currently in here, but there's still so many people that yet to discover this platform. Our economy is nowhere near the size that it's going to be. So this boardroom is going to keep needing to turn on every time people see the value in EMP. Like, you know, every time we drop below peg, I buy EMP, not as a reason to say, hey, let's rally the troops and support peg. No, because I believe in the platform and I know the value in EMP and how I can pair it with my ETH and put it in the detonator and the things I can do in this platform. The value of it to help me multiply my ETH is you know, it's the greatest thing for Ethereum in DeFi. So, you know, when we drop below peg, it's a discount. It's a discount for the people that are here and for the people that are entering into our platform new. So, you know, we drop below peg, that's gonna happen. That's part of it. I mean, it'd be nice, this Zen phase. I mean, the only reason why I care about the boardroom being turned on is because you know, it expedites my utility token growth even faster. But I care about it pumping the price of ESHARES so we can get juicier APRs. But you know, that's the only real reason. I mean, I have 0 ESHARE in the boardroom right now. It's pointless for it to be in there. I'd rather be in the farm, earn an ESHARE where I could take that ESHARE and I could zap that ESHARE in for EMP ETH LP. And I make sure that I put all of my EMP ETH farm in Magic, you know, during this time, because then it's doing it for me. I don't have to worry about it. You know, my BNB ESHARE farm, I keep that on our native platform. So, because I don't want them to keep compounding that into BNB eShare. Right now, I want to get this LP because I'm getting it at a discount. So, you know, it's an opportunity for all the people that are involved and all the people that we already see the value in it for you to take advantage of that discount. But, you know, by no means the thing dropping below peg is unhealthy at all. It's super normal. It gives an opportunity for us to get a discount and an opportunity for new people coming into the platform get a discount. I mean, you know, the only reason there would be to really worry, you know what I'm saying, is if you think this is the cap, if you think this is the max how big we're going to get, we still have so much to go. There's still so much in the work, so much development. I mean, how hard AJ and them work is just unbelievable. I mean, I think, you know, we're super healthy in a crypto bear market. I mean, we've watched, you know, one of the worst downturns in crypto and stayed, you know, even though we go below peg, I always look at the stability, how well we hold where we're at. And that shows, you know, what the people are doing in the system. So when we drop off a peg, it doesn't bother me at all. You know, I don't even like the word that recovery, because I don't really feel like we're, you know, I feel like something would have to be wrong for there to be a recovery. I wish the word could be replaced, but you know, in my opinion, I think it's extremely good for the system to take a breather. It's extremely good for the boardroom to shut off so people can stop looking at that as their primary investment place, because it's the highest APR, and because it tends to make them not look at this as a place to grow utility. They start to look at it as a place where they could grow their biggest profit taking. And it's just a bad way to look at the system. It breeds bad actors. So in my opinion, it's extremely healthy. It's extremely good. And if, you know, I see in the chat, people are upset, you know, assholes selling EMP, whatever, they're selling their position in the protocol. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's on them. The people that see the value in it, whether they're here already or they're coming into the system new, or want to get into the detonator or whatever, they're going to have to suck that EMP up. We're not done growing. That EMP will be sucked up, especially when it's on a discount. I know I'm going to buy some today. I'll probably buy some tomorrow. But the point being, you know what I'm saying, the people that understand what the system is always going to see the value in EMP when it drops below peg. So whenever we have a period of time that we drop below it, you know what I'm saying, take advantage of the discount. Take advantage of the discount to grow your position in the detonator, grow your position in the farm. It's not necessary for us to be printing all day, every day. We don't, when the system needs it, it will. When we have that kind of growth and that much EMP being put to work, then we're going to have to go full burr. But right now we don't. I mean, we wouldn't be turned off. So don't ever look at it as a measure of the health of a system. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you guys want to rally together and try to fight back the peg, that's fine. But right now the system's showing me it needs a breather. So, you know, I'm going to purchase EMP and run my magic farm because I look at the value and that it's a discount. Obviously, it's going to support PEG and help us get back to PEG, but this is the natural occurrence of an economy, of a growing, successful economy. You know, we don't need to push it or try to deter people. When people understand the value of what we have here, you know what I'm saying? We're always, the people rowing in the same direction is always going to outweigh the bad actors. So the better we push that education to the new people coming in, the more successful we're going to have of people understanding to put the EMP, that's a utility token, and it'll be put to work, which will constantly make it so we obviously need more. It be, like I said, I'm going to say it one more time, it would be nice if everybody that was in the boardroom would take that EMP and put it towards utility, because we could, you know, print infinitely, you know what I'm saying? And we'd be growing to the point to where, you know, we'd all be making massive E-share, because that should be your goal. Your end goal should be to make the profit-taking token. But shout out to everybody. Make sure you smash them likes and all that stuff, you know. DeFi dinner time. Love all of y'all. I got to get off here in a minute. So I just wanted to chime in and say that.
Love you, Jesse. Always bringing it, right?
Yeah, love you too, brother.
Okay, man. Okay. Looks like we can fly into the detonator, right, Joe? And what is the detonator? Oh,
yeah, definitely.
Okay. So yeah, what do we got? 5 minutes. Ooh, baby, we better hurry up. So the detonator's a 365 ROI, 365% ROI contract. ROI is not APR. We do have a daily APR in here, and it really is you know, the number that you're getting paid per day in interest here is really based on your actions. It's also based on the deposits that come in, claims versus compound, a bunch of other things that you can figure. There's some information on it in the Telegram and the Discord, exactly how that works. But that being said, this is Detonator V2. There's been some amazing upgrades. The community asked for these upgrades. The team delivered. We got them here. It's really been successful. What are we on? Day 5 right now of Detonator V2, I think. And so we've seen the daily burst grow up. And just so everybody knows, AJ shows the team wallet. I do not have access to the team wallet. That's why these numbers are all 0. This is just a fresh account that I'm using because that is the team account, and I do not have the keys to that. So in case anybody was wondering why this looks different than it did when AJ's on, that is the reason why. So there's a couple different ways to get tickets to get into the detonator. You can deposit LP. It's the EMP ETH LP. Depositing 0.15 LP will get you 1 ticket. You can get a maximum of 50 tickets if you deposit 7.5 LP. If you compound 6, compounding means you have a deposited amount within the detonator. That amount is locked, and you will earn a daily interest on that. It will take you a certain amount of time to ROI, but if you are if you have that that amount deposited in, you're going to be clicking compound in the multiples of 0.12 to get tickets up to a maximum of 50 tickets if you click compound when there is 6 LP. So there are a few different ways to win in here. There is the largest depositor. The largest depositor is a person that is depositing throughout the day. This is the wallet address right now that is the largest depositor of the day, currently at 71.40. That person so one of the big changes here is now it is cumulative, meaning previously you had to make your first shot your best shot when Now it's cumulative. The person can continuously snipe, or somebody can add to their already deposited amount to become the largest depositor. The largest depositor will actually determine how many random winners there are. The higher that person deposits, close to the maximum of 3%, we could see, I believe, 3 more winners, up to a total of 1% on the random tickets. So your odds are better, and the potential upside is much greater than it used to be for the random, because it is tied to the depositor. However, I think the thing that people are most excited about, so we have 1 minute and 30 seconds left right now, but the thing that the people are most excited about is the win it now button. We can see that right now. Still hasn't been claimed for today. This will be the first day that it hasn't been claimed, but it has been claimed the previous 4 days, and you know that it says 2,291 LP, which is approximately 140,000. Yeah, you heard me right, 140,000. That amount is actually matched. That's 2% of the pool balance. That person is basically getting a buy one get one, which everybody in the world loves. To get that buy one get one, we have 1 minute left. But let's see what happens. I'm sure there's some snipers kind of waiting in the wings to hit that deposit, maybe last second, to see if they are the winner.
Yeah, so right now the largest deposit, 71.4 LPs. If that person wins, they will get the minimum of 300 LPs as a prize.
Yep.
And then that 300 is also matched for the random lottery ticket.
Yep.
But like Bull said, we still have 40 seconds. Who knows what will happen? We know that the last 10 seconds, magic happens. So
Yeah.
let's see if that happens today.
Yeah, the fireworks always happen in the last few seconds, but I will mention, people are, when there is fear in the market, you know, euphoria, people, it's sometimes a good time to
We got an 87.
87. Okay.
Let's see if that holds.
Let us see. What do we got? 5 seconds up. 0.
Oh, 162.
Oh, nice. Let's see.
145.
164.
Yeah.
160.
And 145 came a little later.
Is that on? Let me see.
Yeah, I'm looking at BSC scan. So
okay.
let's see. Did it roll over yet? We got to refresh here.
So that 145 might have been stacked onto a previous deposit as well.
Yeah, so it looks like if we go under in the bottom, there's a little link there that says view largest deposit. We go to yesterday. That sounds confusing, but that's after rollover. So 164.17 took it. There was also a 162, a 152, and then we saw the 87. So you could see multiple snipes came in at the end there with 164 taking it.
Let's go down here. And as Joe pointed out, the largest depositor deposited, what was that, 165 LP?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And this random winner, and just so everybody knows, like, in case we have people that don't know how to do this, what you would actually do is copy and paste, or copy this address, open up bscscan.com, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that so somebody can actually see.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Bull, if you guys go down to the protocol overview on the far right-hand side at the bottom, it says View Deposits. Refresh your page after the rollover when you see the timer start back up from the 0 countdown and go to yesterday on the largest deposit. They'll have a list with the highest to lowest. You'll see who the winner was. And it does give their user address right there. You can see 0xefe, and then you can confirm that with who actually won.
Yep. So yeah, blockchain, amazing, right? Like, but like everything, you have to learn how to use it. There's not really my strongest suit of looking at these things, but it does exist, and there are a number of experts here in the community that are just fantastic at looking through and understanding how it works. And you obviously, if you're one of those largest depositor sniper types, you're very skilled in watching what the other people are kind of doing, kind of waiting in the wings to make those deposits. So let's see here.
Yeah, and as far as daily burst with those deposits coming in, I think we had a nice little uptick there.
Yep.
Pretty much every day on our daily burst.
Yep, and that was one of the other kind of requests that people wanted to see. Was some improvement to their daily burst, and it's as you said, right? Day 5, day 6 here, and we obviously there's nothing deposited in this account, but we've seen our daily burst rise since this new contract was launched.
Yeah, it's just nice. Go ahead, LA. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I actually wanted to add on something with that. A really good point there is obviously the people that come on these AMAs every night are some of the most positive, incredible members of our community who want to see the very best for EMP. So one thing to keep in mind, and sorry if you hear my dinner cooking in the background, one thing to keep in mind that we don't always naturally think of just because of the way that the world is set up and what we see on the news and stuff. But the natural thing to want to do is to speak up when something's wrong. But I want to encourage everyone to get in the habit of speaking up every time they see something that they're excited about, that they're happy about. And so when you see your daily burst going up every day, that's a reason to write about it in the chat. That's a reason to celebrate. And whatever the opposite of FUD is, let's create that in the chat. You want you want to have us get closer to PEG tonight? Do whatever the opposite. What's the opposite acronym for FUD, Bull?
I don't know. I would say positivity, but that's a good point, because in crypto there are a lot of negative abbreviations, and we don't see a whole lot of positive ones. So maybe we can brainstorm and come up with something.
Yeah, maybe we can come up with something EMP specific. But the point is that get in the habit of not going on to the chat to complain and get everyone else into that negative zone only when things are going wrong. But let's get on to the chats when we notice our daily burst is going up, when we notice the lottery prizes are higher that day because the daily burst was because the largest depositor was super high that day. Whatever the reason to celebrate. Maybe our user count's way up in Detonator, or there's so many reasons to celebrate for EMP almost every single day. The team is working incredibly behind the scenes to do amazing things, to innovate, to get different YouTube influencers to cover us, to get articles written about us, to do this, to do that, to form amazing partnerships, to do all these incredible things. And I think sometimes being immersed in this every day, we can sometimes almost take it for granted, kind of like Bull's weather theory. When you're immersed in it every single day, you don't necessarily realize it. But I was actually just driving home a little while ago, and I was thinking about it when I first started in crypto, and I was involved in another project, and I had questions, and people just kind of jumped all over me with, why are you asking this? You're so dumb and stuff like that. And I was brand new and I had no idea what was going on. And just EMP is just this incredibly positive community, and we welcome everyone, and we love when people ask questions, and we want everyone to feel good and be educated. And these are all things to celebrate. And whether you're celebrating them inside our group or outside and you're telling others, these are things to chat about in our group or outside. And whatever that word is, that's the opposite of FUD that we'll come up with. But chat about that.
LA. Hey, LA. Yeah. I know what it is.
What is it?
We're on a magic carpet ride.
Magic carpet ride.
There's a lot of
right,
people popping stuff off here, so
Sweet. What are
Yeah.
they?
I really like this one. This was from Steven Grabsky. It's PEF, Positivity, Education, Freedom. So
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's beast.
Yes. Yeah, and the last thing I just wanted to say to kind of close this out, and I've said this before, but just a reminder, it's so easy to get focused on other people and what they're doing and, focus on, oh, this guy or this girl, dumped EMP today and the peg went down a little bit or whatever and see that in the chats. But we can only be focused, or we should only be focused on ourselves and what we control. And every single one of us matters. And if we can work together as a team and each one of us can take responsibility for our own actions, and we can do what Bull and Joe laid out earlier on this call, which was fire, by the way. I didn't want to interrupt and say that, but it was. If we can do those things as a team and each be responsible for our own actions and turn the focus on ourselves as opposed to focusing on those negative things that other people are responsible for, we can light this system on fire now, next week, next month, and all of the days in between. But we have to be responsible for our own actions, and every single one of us matters, whether you have $1 or $1 million invested in this system. And I'm talking about your actions financially and emotionally and mentally and otherwise. So you can do that, and we all can. And if we work together as a team, there is nothing we can't do, and we've already proven that. So,
hello, guys. I hope you don't mind me sending a quick little voice memo in here. I know that obviously everybody.
Oh yeah, LA.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Joe,
LA. Thank you. Go ahead, my
Joe,
man.
yeah, hey, I got a question for you guys. How are we looking on time? Are you guys gonna wrap up here pretty soon?
No, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, probably a little bit, but go right ahead.
Cool. Well, I had a kind of like a big picture. And actually maybe like a cool segue from what LA just brought up. And that's I wanted to get your guys' take on this, that big picture and shoot, I'll just throw it out there, that 10-year goal, right? It's like, holy like when someone thinks, where are you going to be in 5 years? Well, that's something to think about, right? And I wanted to get your guys' take on building a superposition in ETH, and whatever that number is, maybe last bull cycle we got you got 10 ETH, and we all roughly think about ETH as like a $1,200 to $1,500 $2,000 asset. I know a lot of people don't like to think in dollars, right? You want to think in Satoshis, or you want to think in ETH, but I was thinking about that superposition and a decade-long building a treasury, if you will, of Ethereum, and what better place than here, right? And so I guess what I'm asking Bull, Joe, LA, Jesse is like, what do you think about building that generational wealth for yourself, for your family, and whatever that number might be? You know what I mean?
You have to look at the screen, Aaron.
YouTube.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm only on. I'm just on my Telegram. One sec.
Oh, okay.
What is that number called? I know what the number is, but what does that represent? Your goal?
Yeah.
In 10 years.
No.
I can't see it. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. My YouTube. All right. EMP. 1 second, guys. Live. Hell yeah. Okay.
There you go, friend.
Well, no, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
And
so,
awesome.
that seems like a crazy number, but it's not at the same time, because we have time to build, and Bull is heavily invested in this, as am I, and we are actually blessed to have this bear market to build, because once it takes off, you're usually late. When you go to the gas station and the teller gives you change and says, "Oh, how much Ethereum you have?" Well, then you're too late, because everybody knows what it is and they're using it. Not that it's going away, but it means you've kind of missed the best opportunity to buy in. And so now is the time to buy in. And yeah, I mean, my number is really close to Bull, so I'm there with you, Bull.
Yeah, man. That's there's a great line in a song from Pitbull is, reach for the stars, and if you don't make it, fall on the world. And so why anybody wants to have, like real small goals, I don't know why. I'm not here to judge or tell people what their goals should be, but I know what mine are, and I know, I would tell everybody in DM exactly, like the people that I talk to on the regular have a pretty good idea of why I have that number. And so like it's not for so that I can drive around a Lamborghini or live inside a mansion or any of that stuff, really. It's a goal because I know what I want to do is help people, and that's the number that I need, in my mind at least, to be able to do the things that I need to do to be able to help people. And we live a very simple, frugal life, and it's not the money, it's not having this, it's not having that, it's having the ability to do what I need to do to help people in the way that I want to do it.
That's awesome, Bo. Yeah, I mean, everyone's number is going to be different, but at the end of the day, whatever you build now, the fruits of your labor are going to be more than paid back to you in the future. And, I got my son started early in the Detonator, and it was no handout. I said, you take your money, you put it in if you want. He said, sure. And so he's growing in the Detonator. He started in the farms. I think I said the other day, he's been in about 2 months, and he's up 50%. And that's with Ethereum exposure, and he's going to still grow it, and doesn't plan to take anything out, compound, keep things in the farm, earn those ESHARES, and earn that infinite money loop. And in some ways, I'm a little jealous, but I'm not, because he's my son. He's going to be financially set off and nothing to do with what I'm doing, but it's because of what he's doing at his prime age of 19 there. He has time working in his favor, and to be able to build this with his position in early is going to be awesome. And it's going to be awesome to see that. I'm actually more excited about his bags in Aaron, when Ethereum's 10,000, 20,000 than my own portfolio, because I'm not a Lamborghini guy either, but I'm just excited when he has that moment of like, wow, I'm glad I did this. I did it early, and I didn't freak out when the price dropped.
Yeah, totally, man. I'm a person about utility, and somebody was asking me they said, why don't you have a a supercar or whatever? And I said, I don't care about cars. I said, frankly, if my wife would let me, I would drive around a hunk of junk from a big boat from, a big vehicle from the 70s that was a piece of junk. Because then I don't have to worry about door dings, insurance, people, somebody intentionally running into me. That's the kind of car I would drive, or just an old pickup truck. It doesn't, I really, that stuff doesn't matter to me. Just having the ability to do what I want to do is all that matters. So.
That's right, Bo.
And I will give everybody a nugget on how to do that too. Everybody is not going to be able to buy that meme coin that 50,000 X's in a month. But what everybody can do is, really take the time to like investigate, look around, find, that project that they think is special. And this is a special project. I'll tell you that, yeah, of course I'm biased, but that's no BS. It's special. And because you have control and you have input, that's it's a really rare thing in crypto. So, but if you dive really deep into crypto, you're going to be the one that finds that community, that project before it breaks out. And so, there's a lot of people, like way back in the day, in the early days of crypto history, there wasn't YouTubers. There were, the only YouTuber I knew that spoke anything about crypto was Andreas Antonopoulos, and he spoke just about Bitcoin. There weren't all of these amazing opportunities in DeFi and DEXs, and none of this existed. You had to wait forever for something good to come out. And people knew it when a young Canadian Russian, posted a white paper about a project back in 2014 on a channel called Bitcoin Talk. People knew that it was going to be special. They waited years. They contributed and waited a year and a half before they ever had the opportunity to touch that. And that's the opportunity that crypto presents, is the opportunity to really find something that's special, something that's, really unique, something that's going to bring a lot of utility and value to the space. Like, look, Bitcoin's great. It is. But ETH is the king, because none of this would exist without ETH. None of these none of these chains would exist without ETH. They're all EVM compatible. They're all clones. That's why you can use MetaMask on all these different chains. And ETH, really has changed, probably hundreds of thousands of lives across the globe, for the better. And my point with that is if you dive in, if you really look around, you find things, you educate yourself, you learn how to do things. And I'll say it again. When you show up in communities, in different communities, time after time after time, if you're the person there that's helping, people take notice of that. They see it. They know your character because, they'll see like, yeah, wow, this person shows up every freaking day in, 8 different channels, and everything that they're doing is helpful. It's constructive. It's adding value to all of those communities. And, I'm not going to make you any promises, but the point is that when you make that investment in yourself and in these communities, spending the time helping people take notice of that. And you might not have coding skills, you might not have this type of skill, but when you show up and you're honest and you help people, it matters a lot in crypto, because quite honestly, there's not a lot of people that do that on the regular. And that might be your foot in the door to get on a team. It might not be next week. It might maybe not next month. Maybe it's next year. Who knows? But one thing that is assured is that if you just have a mentality where you can come in here, put $100 down, and in a month walk away with $1 million, you're mistaken. You're gonna lose that $100. I'm not talking about at EMP. I'm talking about in crypto in general. If you don't take the time to be diligent and consistent and understand what you're getting involved in, you're going to lose that money. And you are going to be part of that story of the person that made $1 million overnight, or the person that scammed a bunch of people. You're going to be one. You're going to be one of the scammed, one that lost $100 to contribute to that guy, buying Dogecoin at 0.0002 or 0.0002 cents. And you bought it at 82 cents. Don't be the person on the bottom side of that story. Be the person on the top side of the story, the person that had success. And you have it because you put time in, you put effort into it, you put heart into it. You were honest, you helped people, you showed up every day. That's the stuff that's going to matter in crypto. We haven't seen a ton of that over the last 10 years or 12 years or whatever. There are those people out there, absolutely. But by and large, that's not how this space is. But if you want to make a mark, you want to make, like Aaron is saying, like, what's that number? The best place to start, if you don't have those big bags, is to do, to do the dirty work, so to speak, the posting of articles, the helping of people by posting, good links that help people, the tutoring of people, because you've taken the time to understand how, like, for instance, this ecosystem works. Those are the things that are going to matter. The investment in yourself, the investment in other people, the investment in the communities. When you do that, you're going to be the person that has the opportunity of the ground floor of that new project, because they're going to be like, so if you are that type of person, you are going to get basically the call, so to speak, to be part of, like, these early ideas. And it's these early ideas where, there's no speculation of price. There's just an idea of something that wants to be built. A collection of people with kind of a unified goal of doing something, changing the space for the better and making it a better place. And you're not going to do that with that, I'm going to become, super rich overnight. You're going to have to work hard, and you're going to have to be consistent. And those are the things that are going to pay dividends, not just here, but anywhere in the world. It's the people that show up all the time, the people that lead by example. People follow that, people want that, people need that. And so I would encourage everybody, if you have a goal to get to a number, figure out how you get to that goal. That's, everybody's going to have a little bit different recipe on how to get there. But I can tell you that it's a good place to start, by helping people, because you're going to learn at a faster rate. You're going to meet more people. You're going to, have access to more things. And so, just get out there and help people. And, you're going to find that it's very rewarding, and you're going to learn a lot, and, it's going to make you feel really good. And, that's part of what's here at EMP too, is the ability to meet all these people that have all these amazing ideas and skills. And, it's a really good place to start. I'll just leave it at that.
Bull, you got me pumped. We're ending. Man,
hey, bro, we're just beginning.
You got to start with that inspiration at the beginning. Now you kind of like just left me there hanging with that awesome words. But yeah, before we wrap this up, we didn't want to ignore anyone. Anyone have anything they want to say or any questions? Feel free.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't let me ramble on all the time. Just tell me to shut up, people.
You got to save some ammo for tomorrow, Bo. Don't give it all out.
My family has always said, don't eat dessert first. Don't do this. Don't do that. You're going to ruin your appetite. I've never ruined my appetite in my life. I've always been hungry, in every regards. Like, my friend has a great expression, is that, you can never be hungry if you're full, and I'm never full. I always want to learn more. I always want to do more. And most people know, like, I don't sleep a lot, and it's because I want to do more. I always kind of want to be there and doing those things, and, always be hungry.
Absolutely. So yeah, anyone feel free to speak up. Now's your chance.
Yeah. All right. Oh, go ahead, Aaron. Sorry, bro.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, I was gonna say thanks, man. That was awesome, and thanks, Joe. That was just awesome words about the about getting our super position.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you guys can come up with a better way to phrase it. That number, that super position, man. That's those long-term goals. This isn't just a quick flip, 6-month flip thing we're doing here. I feel like we're part of something that's going to be multi-year, a decade-long vision.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right on.
EMP is going to be a household name, right, Aaron?
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be on shirts too, right, Joe? Everybody check out that shirt Joe's wife got him. It's great. I love it.
I had a good chuckle when I saw that. I was like, where the heck did you get that?
Yeah, she put a lot of work
She's
into
like,
that. That's awesome.
She's like, it applies, right? I'm
Yep.
like, yeah, it definitely applies.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah. Awesome, guys and gals. So, yeah, thanks a lot, everybody, for showing up. Just remember, remain positive. Help the people that are, a little bit nervous right now. And, it was just, what was it? 2 months ago, last month, 6 weeks ago. I don't have a good concept of time. But, we were at 0.82. We're at 0.92 basically right now. No problem to get back over. We just, have to act in the responsible manner to, keep pushing the system forward. And there's a ton of strategies here to do that. We laid some out here, general ideas. If you have questions, reach out to people. Everybody here wants to help because when you win, we win. When you lose, we lose. So best thing we can do is remain friendly, helpful, positive, balanced, and push this sucker forward and keep rowing the ship in that positive direction in a straight line without freaking out, rocking it back and forth, chasing APRs. Just keep rowing forward, and we're gonna, get to that point of success in a straight line, which is the fastest way, from one point to the next.
Awesome. Thanks, Bull. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to doing it all over again tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So, cool. Wherever you're at in the world, day or night, be good to yourself, be good to other people, come back here, remain positive, get charged up, feel that sun on your face, and, always step back a little bit from crypto, especially if you're feeling a little freaked out. But this is a family here. We want to build together. We're building an economy. We're building a community. We're building friendships. We're building knowledge. Become a builder. And so, we'll see everybody back here tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.